Reddit, what is the worst thing your best friend has ever done to you? She didn't attend my high school graduation ceremony because she was fucking my boyfriend of 2 years. They started dating a few weeks later. Technically, I was never broken up with. They both just simultaneously stopped talking to me on my graduation day. No explicación, no apology. I still have no idea why. It's okay though, because they didn't last. Boyfriend thought best friend was too shallow, so he tried to pursue me again while he was still dating her. I led him on to the point where he thought things were okay between us, then made him call best friend up on speakerphone and tell her that he was leaving her for me. She cried, and then I never spoke to either of them again, till I am a life ruiner. I do love all my friends dearly, but somehow no one thought it was strange that I was the designated driver of my own bachelorette party. Edited, your comments are hilarious. My cup of alcohol runneth over. You should have designatedly left them all behind. He died on me. I know he didn't mean to die, just to piss me off, but as I was carrying his casket, I was really fucking angry with him. Still miss you, buddy. Mine died on me too. No casket though, just ashes. I keep them next to the leash and frisbee. I had a friend die 2 months ago. The bastard owed me money. Who would have thought that was hilarious? I still smile whenever I see his name. In 8th grade, my 2 best friends who I grew up with decided to hate me. I don't recall doing anything horrible to them to make them be so cruel to me, but they gave me the worst nickname. I asked one of them once to show me how to use a tampon. My mom passed away when I was 9, and she showed me hers, and I showed her mine. According to her, I had a big vagina and enormous flaps. Referring to my labia, pretty soon the whole school was calling me flapper, and I was sitting at the loser table at lunch. I was threatened to get beat up by girls and guys, and had to get my dad to drive me to school so I could avoid the bus. It was awful. Freshman year, I made new friends, and everyone eventually forgot about the nickname. But it still hurts me whenever I think about it. Edit. Thank you for the gold anonymous user. Very thoughtful of you. Faith in humanity restored. This one made me the most sad. Hope all is good now. I'm actually extremely happy. Thank you. Married, a 1-year-old son, and another on the way. Smiley face. 8th grade girls are shit. Just total, despicable shit. Source. I was an 8th grade girl who was a shit. I didn't bully or spread rumors or whatever. I was just a shit. Dumped friends, made new ones, dumped them, made new ones, went back to old ones, went back to new ones. Flaky as fuck. Total shit. Saw my only close friend having to eat on his own because our table was full, so got up to join him and sit with him. He simply stood up and sat in the seat I had just left. I lost contact with him, but I will never forget feeling so shot down in my entire life. It changed the way I interact with people for the worse. I would have pulled his ass out of that seat. In 8th grade, what I thought was my best friend and I had a plan to bunk in our annual 8th grade trip to Washington, D.C. That year was also the first year we were allowed to have more than one roommate for the trip. So we thought it would be us 2 and 2 other of our friends. We had it all planned out, the 4 of us. One of them, my best friend, and neighbor, were going to have a great time all together. The day our teacher asks us to write down the names of the people we will be bunking with. I ended up going 3 with 3 annoying pricks instead of my friends because none of them wrote my name down. I found out from the kids they replaced me with. My best friend in middle school broke up with me via a horrible note, saying how I was really annoying and only holding her back from becoming popular. Told me she didn't want to ever hang out with me again, but I should still pretend like we're cool or else people would talk. Then on top of that, the popular girls were already established and paired off, so she was outcast for a while. Serve her right. It's like she sort of understood social mobility, but didn't understand it enough. You can't win chess if you're telling your opponent all of your moves before you make them. Also, she sounds like a total bitch. Middle school is an awful time for girls. I dread the day my daughters go. I had a best friend completely stop talking to me out of the blue, who told people she just got tired of me. I also found invitations to a girl's day out that specifically made a note to everyone that I was not to be invited. I'm 25 now, and that shit still stings. As I was walking out of my wedding with my bride on my arm, he walked up for a hug. I spread my arms, and he punched me in my face. Fuck. Why? Oh, I deserved it. We had a vicious prank war going back for 15 years. This was to get me back for punching him while he was asleep 12 years earlier. My former best friend banged the guy I was seeing at a party we were all at. Another friend was stopping me from going into a room, but I pushed through anyway because I didn't know what the big deal was about me going into a random room. Well, I walked in on them. I proceeded to dump my drink on his bare ass and showed myself out. Wow, both of your friends in this situation are fairly despicable. They both royally sucked. The girl that slept with him actually tried to prove to me that she didn't do anything with him except be in his bed while undressed. She was always a terrible liar. I was best friends with her for about 10 years, but never spoke to her again. The other friend tried to tell me he was only protecting me by blocking me from the room. Yeah, because it's way better for me not to know and continue dating this guy. Also never spoke to him again. This happened 6 years ago, and 2 weeks ago the guy I dumped my drink on actually sent me a message apologizing for how things went down and how amazing of a person I am. Then asked me out to dinner to try again. Side note, he's been in a relationship for 3 years. Forever a douchebag. How? How did she propose to show you this proof? When I dumped the drink, he jumped up and slammed the door shut as I walked out. While I was outside controlling my anger, she comes out crying hysterically. First off, dead giveaway that someone's lying. Either way, I'm not an idiot. I knew what I saw. She was saying things along the lines of, I was just in his bed talking. It was so hot from everyone at the party, and we took out clothes off to cool off. We've been best friends since forever. How dare you accuse me of sleeping with someone that I know you're with? Oh, okay, because it's totally normal to get naked when you're hot, and to get underneath a naked guy with your legs spread to cool down your body temperature, all while having a nice chat. She went into a serious panic mode and never realized how absolutely ridiculous she was sounding. To be fair, I wouldn't let my friend walk in on that either. Granted, I would sit her down and tell them. But who's to say the friend didn't intend to? If he were a good friend who intended to do that, he would have tried to contact me afterwards to explain, but he never did. I found out from another person that the guy I was seeing had been sneaking around with girls for a long time, and my friend had known all along. Got Pokemon Red first before all the other kids. Showed it to him, and he was amazed. When he went home, I couldn't find a game anywhere. Bitch stole my Pokemon. Kind of the same thing happened to me, but with Pokemon cards instead. The worst part was that he was moving the next day, so I couldn't confront him. Told everybody I was on coke. At the time, I had lost 60 pounds very quickly from being on anti-seizure/migraine meds. And everybody was accusing me of being bulimic, anorexic, or on drugs. She basically confirmed to people that I was addicted to cocaine. Is currently dating a man who took serious advantage of me while I was unconscious. Even though I hate him and refuse to be in the same room as him, and she knows what he did. She acts like it was my fault. I need new friends. Girl I was friends with tried to kill me when she found out I was pressing charges after her husband raped me. We moved in together. First mistake. She was the biggest slob on the planet. Never cleaned once. Then she got a dog that wasn't house trained and was too lazy to get off her ass and let him out, so the dog ruined the carpet. The whole place stunk. I had a 2-year-old kid at the time and had multiple talks with a roommate about how I can't raise a kid in this disgusting environment. Finally, she told me to just move out. I paid her a full month's rent for next month when moving out, as well as the fee for breaking the lease early. Our relationship was still amicable, though strained at this point. The new place I moved into had a malfunctioning water heater, and to make a long story short, a week after I moved in, my kid got badly burned by the water heater. While in the hospital with my kid, I called my friend and cried because I needed someone to talk to. After I hung up with her, she called CPS on me and told them that my kid was abused and should be taken from me. Mutual friends of ours confirmed that she was bragging she had done it at work the next day. CPS temporarily took my kid away and put her in foster care. My child and I had to go through extensive psychological and intelligence tests, as well as parenting classes and therapy. They concluded that the charges were unfounded and finally returned custody of my kid back to me. It took 7 months. Fuck her. Edit. There's a lot more to the story, thus saying to make a long story short. But that was the gist of what she specifically did to me. Wow, that is seriously fucked up. What did you do afterwards? Please tell me you did something. We've had exactly one physical confrontation in 12 years of knowing each other. It was over risk. I still can't believe he fucking invaded Southern Europe after we'd agreed to let each other keep our continents that turn. Tried to convert me into Jehovah's Witness in the wake of my family member's violent death. I was incredibly vulnerable, and she took that opportunity to try to manipulate me into her cult. She was incredibly disrespectful of me, my personal beliefs, and my situation. Never in my life have I felt so slimy from a situation. If that's the case, then that's fucked. Was she trying to use her religion to comfort and heal? Or was she just all out? You should join my church. Either way, I don't see how she would benefit from that. So, I feel like it wasn't meant maliciously. Told me we weren't friends and hadn't been in a long time. Less than 4 months before my wedding. Also, she was my maid of honor. Then she was pissed at me when I asked her to step down. When I was in elementary school, he stole my Transformer toy. It was an off-brand Transformer toy that transformed into a motorbike. I still loved it and played with it every day. But my best friend stole it and sold it to a kid down the street for $5. I confronted him and told him to give me the money or buy back the toy. Then the unthinkable happened. He fucking bought 20 gumballs from the gum machine with that $5. He sold my friendship and trust for 20 gumballs. That's what my love and trust is worth. 20 fucking gumballs. It's been over 10 years, and I still get pissed over it. Then I had to listen to them apologize all night. You just laid there and let him finger your girlfriend? Well, they were kissing, and I was lying there for a bit thinking there's a weird noise. Clogged on. Then I heard her telling him to do it, whispering that he felt bad. Then heard him go for it. That's when I stood up and cock-blocked him, plus a bit of cunt calling. For good measure, I'd say that cunt calling was well-deserved. That's brutal, man. I'm sorry that you even had to go through that. Pressured me into taking a job a few hours, not that long a drive. But we only saw each other every 2 to 3 weeks, away from my girlfriend of 7 years. Told me not to propose just yet, wait for her birthday that was a couple weeks after moving date. Then start a relationship with her as soon as I moved, maybe sooner. Went behind my back and character assassinated me and a couple of other friends because he couldn't handle becoming a paraplegic without taking it out on everyone around him. Sorry about the accident, but it didn't give you the right to destroy relationships and hurt people for shits and giggles. Life cheated you, took in your pain in order to lessen yours, and expected nothing in return. But expecting nothing doesn't fucking mean we're cool with you irrevocably fucking up multiple 10+ year long relationships because you're angry at the world. FYI, I'm from NC, and if you're in DC reading this, asshole, DIF, stole my life savings to buy meth. I was in 10th grade, so my life savings was only about $500, but at $5.25 per hour, it took me ages to save that. She knew the sneak out window was unlocked, where it was hidden, and when no one would be home. So, she used the privileged information you only give to friends to steal from me. Even 10 years later, it still hurts. Rachel, you know what you did? Fuck you. She stole from me. I had some heavy-duty pain pills after having been laid up with a back injury. One day, after she had come over to help me out with the kids. I have never known her to be a drug user or that she would be in any pain to need the pills. Also, my doctor was suspicious when I had to go back and ask for more as I explained I'd lost them. Maybe he thought I was using them recreationally. That hurt more than anything. I was mortified. Screwed me out of a few $1,000s I'd put down as a down payment / security deposit / first and last month's rent on a house we were looking to get. Dumbass me made the mistake of giving money to my friend instead of to the landlord. And then my friends disappeared with the money and filled my room with some other people. Legal action was not pursued, but needless to say the friendships ended immediately. Throwaway account. I could never prove it, but her friends confirmed it was entirely possible. She asked me to go to her basement to check her laundry while she washed her siblings and sent 2 of her male friends with me as I got to the elevator. I only knew one guy, a friend of hers I messed with but wouldn't have sex with. When we got to the basement, they turned off the light and sodomized me. Sans lube. I just remember the lights coming on, being held up by my waist, and sat down on a bench, and her teasingly them asking what was going on. Spent 3 hours listing everything she and her parents had decided was wrong with me. I was 9. I kept myself from crying the whole time until I finally cut out and ran home, where I cried in my closet until I fell asleep. I still considered her one of my best friends for years after because I had trouble making friends and she lived down the street. It still rides on me every once in a while. Accused me of lying when I came out to her. At the time it really hurt, but we're still best friends and I trust her more than anyone. Did she just think you were joking? Or using it as a cry for attention? She thought I was kidding. I'm not the kind of person that would do that for attention. I think it just had to sink in a bit. Because after our initial conversation, she was totally cool and understanding. The initial sting still hurt, though. She emailed my ex that I'd broken up with not 2 months prior and said nasty things about me under the guise of looking for advice on how to deal. Not sure if she was trying to screw him or just being a bitch with poor judgment. Either way, noped the fuck out of her life immediately after. Unfortunately for her, said ex and I are still cool and will always have each other's back on stuff like this. Used me to pay for everything, including our drug and alcohol habit, for 9 years and dumped me when I didn't have any anymore. Joke's on him. I cleaned up and I'm going back to college, and he's in jail for possession of cocaine and MDMA. Just sort of stopped talking to me. He wasn't angry at me, and I hadn't done anything wrong. He just thought it was time to find new friends. This keeps happening. I'm desperate to find out what's wrong with me, that people don't want to stay friends with me. But everyone tells me that it wasn't because of anything wrong with me. BS. I'm the only common denominator. There must be something about me I can change to fix this. Her then boyfriend and I didn't really like each other. I was fine with it though, considering he treated her really well and made her happy. I tolerated him when I had to, and he did the same. A sort of unspoken agreement. One day out of the blue, this guy, her BF, calls me and tells me off. The only word I got in was hello in the 2-minute phone call. He's saying things like, only a massive bitch would talk shit about her best friend behind her back, and you're a fucking cunt for ignoring your friend while her parents are getting divorced. Now, she ignores all of my phone calls / texts for the next week when I give up and cut my losses. Fast forward a couple years, she and this guy had broken up. We start talking again for a couple months, when all of a sudden she flips out on me again, quits her job, and moves to California with a guy she's known for 2 months. At this point, her ex and I are working together at a Jimmy John's, actually getting along pretty well, so I decided to ask him about that phone call. She had apparently been telling him that I was flat out ignoring her and talking shit. All the while, she had also been telling me that he had been trash talking me. I didn't think twice about it at the time. Turns out that she wanted us to hate each other TLDR. Psycho best friend turned her BF and I against each other. I really only hang out with guys these days. She set me up with her brother. She was also fucking him at the time. Edit. Full story requested. Full story offered. I made a friend in college. She was awesome and supportive and funny, and we became very, very close. Like sisters. I had an unplanned pregnancy. She was the only one unconditionally supportive. She was my birthing coach, and my son's middle name is in her honor. She spent a week with me after my son was born and did 12-hour shifts caring for him. So you can imagine how much I trust and love her at this point. My son's father and I broke up. Fast forward a few months, my friend and I are hanging out at her aunt's house. Her older brother is there. She says he's really into me. Hanging out and having fun on the weekends. After about 6 weeks, I get a phone call from him at around 3:30 a.m. I answer the phone expecting bad news. Maybe my friend is hurt or something. He admits to me that he and his half-sister have had a sexual relationship for the past 1.5 years. Instantly, I'm like, fuck you, dude. If you don't want to date, just tell me. He goes into details about how the first time they had drunk sex, and it was an accident, but he kept inviting her over, and she kept taking the invitation. Eventually, they were in a very serious and sexual relationship. I realized no sane person would admit this unless it were true. I mean, you're not just making yourself look absolutely horrible. I just need to know the truth. She says yes, but sex only happened once. Then a few times. Then a few times a month. Then she says it's none of my business. I was more pissed that I got duped into thinking these two people cared about me. She set me up with him because she wanted a chance at a normal romantic relationship, and he needed a replacement woman in his life. I asked her why, because there's some unspoken rule between girlfriends that at the very least, if I'm into a guy and you're setting me up with him, it's courtesy to tell me you fucked him. She said it's her business what she does with a man before he dates other women. None of my business whatsoever. I could go on. Around the time her incestuous relationship was beginning, me completely unaware, she suggests I read this awesome book Flowers in the Attic by Virginia Andrews. Book is about incest. I should have known. And another, they're still together. Got an apartment together. Sick fucks. He made a "your mom" joke 2 months after my mom died, and I punched him in the shoulder for it. Admittedly, he warned me it would happen eventually, and I warned him I'd punch him for it. He agreed that was acceptable. 20 plus years of friendship, and that's the worst thing he's ever done. Didn't have permission to drive out of town, was about 16, so snuck out after my parents went to bed. Drove 2 hours to my girlfriend's house with my best friend. We get there, and she ends up hooking up with him, and not me. Sad face. Douchiest thing I think anyone has done to me. What is sad is that out of all my old friends, he's the only one I'm still in touch with. Oh, did get caught and in trouble with my parents too, so it really sucked. This just means no one put on their big boy pants and took over. At least one of your friends just announces, okay. Looks like Heizueschkreis total was about $10 each. Everyone throwing that much, and then it's done. No one says, no, I don't want to do that. They just throw it in. I don't think this was malicious. It was probably no one took charge to collect, so everyone assumed someone else was paying for you.